Hey guys, welcome back. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you a recipe that I acquired about 18 years ago from a sweet gentleman in New Orleans, Louisiana, and it is gumbo. So I have made this recipe for many years and it is absolutely delicious. It's never failed. You can add and tweak however you want to fit your taste. It's absolutely delicious. So I'm going to show you everything that you're going to need. Now it looks like a lot, but I'm going to give you a heads up. If you prep all of your ingredients before you cook it, everything's going to go smoothly. When I first made this dish many years ago, I didn't do that. I kind of chopped as I went. It was a complete disaster. So go ahead, make sure you chop all of your ingredients, make sure they're all prepped and ready to go, and it will go very smoothly. So let's go over everything you're going to need and let's get cooking. Okay guys, we're going to start from the left to the right and I'll go over everything. First off, you're going to need some andouille sausage. If you don't like andouille sausage or don't prefer the heat of andouille sausage, by all means just use regular smoked sausage. Works out fine. I've used it before, but today we're going to be using andouille sausage. I've got a pound of deveined and tail-off shrimp. They're just hanging out here in some cold water. I've got some chicken tenders here. Now I like to use chicken tenders because it's just easier for me to shred, and plus I always have them on hand. You can use a pound if you want to. Since I've got other stuff in here, I'm just going to use a half a pound. Okra. I've got about 2 cups of okra here. Now, for all of my okra haters out there, if you do not like it, you do not have to put it in. But if you can stand it, go ahead and add that in. You're going to need oil. Yes, this is a lot of oil, but this is how they do it in New Orleans, so that's how I've done it for 18 plus years. Absolutely delicious. You're going to need garlic, flour. For spices, you're going to need bay leaves, salt and pepper, cayenne pepper, red pepper flakes, and thyme. And you're going to need about 8 cups of chicken broth. And you're going to need the Holy Trinity. What the Holy Trinity is celery, bell pepper, and onion. This is used a lot in Cajun and Creole cooking, so don't skip on this, and no, you cannot sub for anything else. So with all that being said, and we've covered all of the ingredients, let's get cooking. Okay guys, I've got my pot heating on medium-low heat. You don't want your heat too high because you don't want to burn anything. And I've got my large Dutch oven here. So just a tip, go ahead and set out all of your ingredients together where they need to go, so that way you don't have to scramble to look for stuff when you add it in. So first off, we're going to add in our oil. Our flour. You're going to turn your heat down to about low, and you're just going to sit here and whisk this until this roux becomes a dark brown color. Now, if you don't like that dark flavor color, you can stop about halfway. It's completely fine. Just depends on your flavor profile. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to whisk this. It's going to take about 20 minutes or so, and I will meet you right back here when it's done. Oh, and another tip, don't walk away because this will burn and it's not good. Okay guys, it has been about 20 minutes, and as you can see, it's turned this medium brown, beautiful color. So the reason why you don't want to leave this at any point is because the flour will settle and it will burn. You want to constantly whisk this so it doesn't burn. You don't want that burnt flavor in your roux. So I've got my heat down to low, and I've been constantly stirring. At this point, because we're going to keep cooking this, we're going to add in our vegetables, our trinity. So carefully add that in there. And stir this. And you're going to cook this until all of the vegetables are tender, about 10 to 15 more minutes. In that time, the roux will also darken more, and that's flavor profile of the onions and the bell pepper and the celery will get and infuse into that roux. Now, while this is cooking, you want to constantly stir this. You don't want that roux to burn. So for the next 10 to 15 minutes until the vegetables are tender, I'm just going to sit here and stir this. Okay guys, it's been about 10 minutes or so and my vegetables are tender and my roux has deepened in color. It's now a more dark tone color. So, just going to add in our garlic. I'm adding it now so it doesn't burn. We're just going to cook this for about 30 seconds to 1 minute. Going to add in our spices. And our chicken broth. And then we're just going to stir this together until everything is well combined and there are no bits of flour. Okay guys, I have stirred this for about 2 or 3 minutes just to make sure there's no clumps of flour floating around in there. You don't want to bite down on that. So now we're just going to add in our chicken tenders. Give this a stir, and you're going to let this cook until the chicken tenders are completely cooked through. It should take about 15 to 20 minutes, and I will meet you right back here. Just make sure that you come stir this up every once in a while so the flour doesn't settle on the bottom and burn. So I'm just going to do that, and I'll meet you right back here. Okay guys, it's been about 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and take out my chicken. I'm just going to put it on a plate, whoops, for it to cool. Put those vegetables back in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in my okra. Give that a stir. My sausage. And I'm going to let this cook another 15 minutes or so. Okay guys, it's been about 20 minutes and I've turned my heat up to medium-low so I can bring it up to a boil and let that okra and the vegetables cook together. So now I'm going to just turn this down to low. And now what I'm going to do is add my chicken back in. I went ahead and shredded it up while I was waiting for this to cook. I also went ahead and put some rice on to cook. So I'm just going to let this cook for about 5 minutes just for the chicken to heat through. And then I'm going to add in my shrimp. Alright guys, it's been about 5 minutes and I let the chicken heat up. Now I'm just going to cut off my heat. And I went ahead and drained my shrimp. I'm just going to add those in here. It does not take long for shrimp to cook at all, so the heat from the gumbo is going to cook the shrimp. So just go ahead and stir that in. Really well. What you're going to do now, put a lid on, let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes, come back, your shrimp will be cooked through, and then I will show you what to do next. Okay guys, it's been about 20 minutes and the shrimp is perfectly cooked. Now as this cools, if you get any oil on the top, go ahead and just get a spoon and kind of skim it off and discard it. You don't want that. Some gumbos do that and some don't. It just depends on how you cook your roux. But I'm just going to show you how to serve this up. I already went ahead and checked it for seasoning. It didn't need any more salt. I just added a little bit more pepper. So we're just going to serve this up real quick. So I've just got a little bit of rice in here, and you're just going to top your rice with your gumbo. As little or as much as you want, and you're good to go. Okay guys, I've got it right here. This is such a good meal if you have the time to make it. Gumbo is not hard to make. It's just time consuming because you got to cook the roux, the vegetables, and everything else. So it is definitely a great dinner to make. So let's just get right on into the taste test, guys. Get a little bit here. That is delicious. If you guys love gumbo, you're definitely going to love this. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you give this recipe a try, let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.